Hey everybody, it's Six just coming in with another Faves and Raves. This one is going to be about one of my favorite PS2 games of all time. Not even going to lie, this is one of my gems right here. I'm pretty sure there's a good amount of people out there that know about this game. It's called Mercenaries, Playground of Destruction. This game came out in 2005 and was developed by Pandemic Studios. I think they are defunct now, but one of the games that they did come out with around that time also was Star Wars Battlefront, the original one. The game is an absolute classic. Love that game. Pretty sure I will be doing a review on that one too. But let's talk about Mercenaries. So the game is based around Korea, and the enemies in the game want to reunify North and South Korea into one country again. So coalition forces and a bunch of other countries decide to descend upon the country, and chaos ensues. In comes the mercenaries for hire. Just hired guns, looking to make a few bucks. You know, they just go in there and chaos ensues. So you play as one of the three mercenaries that you can pick in the beginning of the game. One guy named is Matthias. Then you have Jennifer and also Chris. So the three characters have slightly different abilities, which can add to replayability of the game. I think Chris is more of a tank type character, can take a lot of damage. Matthias can run really fast, and Jennifer can sneak up on enemies easier than the other two. Also, one other thing in the game is you're dealing with different governments, so different characters actually know different languages. So in one instance, you might be in a meeting with South Korean forces and they'll speak Korean to each other. But if you play as Chris, he's actually part Korean, so he actually gets the language translated. So you kind of see what everybody's talking about from different perspectives. Matthias, he knows Russian, and there's like the Russian mafia causing chaos in Korea. So he can actually understand what they're saying. And Jennifer also, she speaks Chinese. So the Chinese government is there. She can actually hear what they're saying. It's actually a pretty interesting dynamic, especially when it comes to replayability, because you can just play through with the three different characters and see what each country is talking about without you really knowing that they know that you can hear the language. So it's actually pretty cool. Yeah, like I said before, this is one of my favorite games. This game is awesome, but I'm not going to take up too much of you guys' time with like explaining the backstory because I would rather you experience it for yourself. So I don't really want to spoil it for you, even though it's a pretty old game. Everybody hasn't played this game, but I, for one, highly recommend that a lot of people play this game. I'm really hoping that one day it gets a remaster because it definitely deserves it. This game is awesome. The graphics are really good, but it's also it was released around the time when like there was like drab color schemes used for graphics during that time. So there's a lot of greens and browns. But for me, it was okay because it's a military type shooter. So it wasn't really a bother for me. But that might throw off a few people here and there just seeing. But yeah, you also have to remember it's one of those games of those times. So a lot of games during that time went through that. But so let's talk about the game mechanics, which are pretty solid. Like I said before, this game was made by the same creators who made Star Wars Battlefront. That's an awesome game mechanics. It's really good. It's really tight and responsive. It's really good. There's so many little details about this game that I like being able to see your weapon that you have on your shoulder as your secondary, which is also pretty cool. The ability to pretty much blow anything up in the game, which is unprecedented during 2005. Like it's insane. you'll blow up buildings, you'll blow up monuments, you'll blow up bridges. Everything is just like destroyed. They give you like all different types of weapons to play with, like assault rifles, rocket launchers, shotguns, machine guns, all that different type, all the military stuff, all the different military vehicles. You'll see Humvees, you'll see guys on top of the vehicles with machine guns and rocket launchers. You'll see helicopters and planes, and you'll just see artillery firing all over the place. There's constant war going on. It's pretty cool. You'll see other factions fighting against each other. And the faction system is also pretty interesting because each country or faction that you deal with, you get a meter which determines whether they're hostile or friendly towards you. And if they're friendly towards you, they'll give you like bonuses. They'll give you different weapons to use, different items you can drop, different packages, stuff like that. Also, the mafia has its own separate network where they can deliver special vehicles, special weapons for you. It's pretty cool. Like just playing through it and seeing all the different things that you can unlock for each country and each group is really neat, and I encourage it. It's pretty cool. It's just blowing everything up and just going to a building and just arming like 7 or 8 C4s and detonating them all at one time. It's pretty cool. The North Korean forces, which are the main enemy, are always the enemy for some reason. They'll see you driving past in the vehicle, and if you're not disguised, they'll just automatically attack you, regardless of what's going on. It's like they're the constant enemy. It's just so weird and interesting. Like it's a really good game to play through, and I highly recommend that as many people as possible play this game. The story is just like kind of, I wouldn't say what's going on right now, but it kind of mirrors like events in a weird sort of way. It's really funny how it works, but I thought the story was interesting. I think that the weapons are interesting. I love the characters, the way that they interact with Intel and all the other countries and the generals and all the different leaders and capturing the enemies. That's also one thing, one small detail I always love when you have to get a high value target and then you catch them. You got to kind of knock them upside the head and knock them out, pick them up and put them to the helicopter to take them away. You can either arrest them or if they actually get killed, you can take a photograph of them and get paid. Either way, it's just really cool. The missions are varied and interesting. There's just so much. The map is actually a pretty good size. And then when you go further up north, it becomes more isolated and bleak and just deserted. It's just really it's a really cool game, and I just feel like a lot of people may have missed this game, but this was one of the PlayStation 2's top gems, and I just feel really bad that like a lot of people may have missed it. But I highly recommend this game, and like I said, for my 5 cents, I always say for this type of game, the weapons are really cool. The vehicles are really cool and interesting and varied. The controls are tight, especially for this type of game when you have to like aim at multiple enemies and structures. The main characters are all really cool, and the story is really interesting. Just give this game a shot. I highly recommend. And ha, guess that's about it. I guess I'll see you guys next time in the next review. But you know, this game isn't even a rental. This game is a purchase. So please experience this game. It's awesome. It also made Mercenaries 2 on the PlayStation 3. Hopefully, I can get a review out on that pretty soon. But my focus is on Mercenaries Playground of Destruction. It's a really good game. Highly recommend it. Buy it, add it to your collection, play this game, and give me your feedback on what you liked and what you disliked about this game. And I'll see you guys in the next one.